Hello, my dear students. Let's start with the second module of the Python subject, which consists of the three chapters, namely list, dictionaries, and the structuring the data using the string. This module deals with the list creation and the methods to be applied on the list, dictionary creation, and the methods to be applied on the dictionary, and as well as the string methods. So after the completion of this module, you will be able to execute the Python programs using the list, dictionary, and the strings. So what is a list? List is a data structure where you will be able to store the more than one value at a time, that to the multiple values in an ordered sequence. So for example, you can see here the basic syntax that is required for storing the elements into the list. So how to identify the whether it is a list data structure or not? Always the list data structure is included into the square bracket. That is, the elements of the list are included into the square brackets, and each element in the list are separated by the comma. So do remember that whenever you are going to add the more elements into the list, all the elements needs to be mandatorily separated by the comma. In this example, the elements are cat, bat, rat, and elephant. All are included in a single quotes. Why? Because they are considered as the string elements over here. So in the second example, you can see here 1, 2, and 3 are the elements of the list, where each element are again separated by the comma, and these elements are considered as the integer elements of the list here. So in the other example here, you can see the elements of a list are hello, 3.14, true, none, and 42. Why? Because the list can also have a facility that where you can store the different kinds of the data into the list. So that means the list is not restricted, or will not restrict you to store only the same kind of the data into the list. Instead, it will also allow you to store the elements of the different data types. So with an example or the idle, I just want to show you what is the basic syntax that is required to create and store the elements into the list here. See, basically I'll tell you that directly you can make the any variable as a list just by initializing it to the square bracket, and also you have the other method where you can create the list variable here. So for example, I'll take here variable 1, or else simply I'll take x, and I'll just initialize with it the constructor name as a list with the opening and closing round parenthesis. So once I press enter, so you can see here the list variable has been created, which is x, where you can store the values into that x. So if at all, if you want to check out what kind of data type for this x is being considered, just type x and press enter. So you can see here the x has been given with the meaning as a square brackets here, just to tell you that x is being considered as a list variable here. So this is the one method where you can create a list variable. The another method is just take a variable name, initialize with its opening and closing square bracket. This is also going to make the same thing, that is, it is going to consider this y variable as a list variable. So type y and press enter. You can see here both the x and the y are considered as the list variables here. So what you need to remember here is these are the two methods through which you can create the list variable. One method is you can take a constructor name with a list followed by the opening and closing parenthesis, just to make sure that the variable has to be created as a list variable. So the another method is you can simply take the square bracket here. So into this x, I just want to add the elements as, I'll first take the one element as a Python, which is a string. The second element, I'll take it as a number. The third element, again I'll take it as a string here. So I have created a list here. I have added the elements to the x variable. So now I'll type the x and press enter. So you'll be able to see the all the elements of the x variable, that is the list variable, has been displayed here into the square bracket. Why? Because x is considered as a list variable here. So you can see here within the same list, I have taken the two different data types. That is, the two elements are of the string data type and one element is of the integer data type. So do remember that in the list, whenever you want to add the elements, you have the facility to add it with the different data types over there. So I hope you people are clear with at least the syntax that is required for creating the list variable and adding the elements to the list variable. This is the simplest way that you need to remember here. So now once the element has been once the elements has been added and stored as a list values. So the next thing is getting the individual values in a list with the help of the index. So before that, I just want to make you one thing clear, that whenever you add the elements to the list variable, so all these elements are being stored with a respective index value here. For example, here you can see X is a list variable where we have added the three elements. The first element being the Python, the second element being the 67, and the third element being the programming language. But how they are stored into this variable is with the help of the index value. It is exactly the same way how you do it as a arrays in the other programming language. So if you want to access the any element from the arrays, you are going to access them with the help of the specific index value, isn't it? So in the same way here also, all the elements of the list are going to be stored with the specific index value starting with the 0 to the n minus 1. So for example, here in this case, Python, the first element is stored at a index value 0. The second element is being stored at a index value 1. And the third element is being stored at the index value 2. So here is an example, the same example you can see the spam is being considered as a variable of list type, and all these are the elements that are being added as a list elements to the variable spam. So how to access the every individual element here? All the elements of the list can be accessed with the help of the index value here. So how to put the index value, or what is the syntax here? Name of the variable into the square bracket and followed with the index value here. For example, the cat is being represented with the index value 0, bat 1, rat 2, and elephant 3. So the same way you'll see here. So I'll check the name of the list variable is X, and into the square bracket I'll take the 0 index value and I'll just press enter. So you can see here the element that is being stored at the X of 0 is Python, that is being displayed here. So similarly, let me check out the element that is being stored at the index value 1 here. So you can see a 67, 0 being Python, 1 being 67, and similarly even I'll check out with the 2 now. So you can see the third element, which is at the index value 2, is programming language. So the length of the elements, or the total number of the elements, is different with respect to the index value. Why? Because always in the list the elements are being stored starting with the index value 0 here. So here are the again the same way how I told you that how you can access the every individual element from the list. So spam of 0 being representing cat, spam of 1 bat, spam of 2 rat, and similarly the last element elephant. So here is one more example you can check out here. What happens if you are going to refer to the index value for which the element doesn't exist in the list here? So in this spam variable, you can see here how many elements are there. You have the element at the 0th position, you have the element at the 1st position, you have the element at the second position, and you have the element at the third position. That means at most with the index value 3, you will be able to access the elements of this list variable here. But in this statement, you can see here what has been done. You are trying to refer a value that is stored at the index value 10,000, for which there is no element exist over here. So if you try to execute such things in your program, probably you'll get an error naming it as a list index out of range. So here I'll show you. So you can see here, here also in this X variable, there are three elements. That means you have the element at the 0th position, you have the element at the 1st position, and you have the element at the 2nd position. So I'll try to refer only, will not go with 10,000. I'll just try to refer with the X of 3. And let me check out what I'll get here. So you can see here, we are getting the error here stating it as a list index out of range here. So whenever you refer the any element which is not present in your list, or for the index value you don't have the element, you are going to get the error as a list index out of range. So there is a one more example in which you can see here the element of a list is the another list over here. So this is also possible in Python. Here a list is not restricted only to the strings, integers or the float types. You can also have the another list as an element of the list here. That means list nested into the outer list here. So I'll just want to show you with an example here. So here you can see y. I'll take it as a y is equal to, first I'll take a simple integer, next I'll take ABC as a second element over here, and at the third I just want to take the another list as an element in which I have the values as 2 comma 3 comma 4. So I'll close it and I'll close it. So basically in this variable, so you can see it is a list consisting of the three elements. So the y variable consists of the three elements here. The first element being the 1, second element being the ABC, third element being the another list again in which you have the three elements as a 2, 3, 4. So if I type y and press enter, so you can see here you have the, so you can see here you have the three elements into the list in which the last element is the another list here. So now in this case, how is the possible to get the elements of this list now? So for example, if I type y of 0, so you can see here you are going to get the element that is being stored at the index value 0, that is 1. So if I type y of 1, so you are going to get the element which is stored at the ABC. So if I type y of 2 now, so probably I'll get the entire list itself as a element 2, 3, 4. You can see the index value to the variable y at the second position, that is the second index value, you have the entire element 2, 3, 4. But what if you want to access the specific element from this last element? For example, if I just want to access this 3 as a value from this list variable, so how it needs to be done is, so y, take the two-dimensional indexing here. So this is at which position? 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, and within this 2 I want to access this 3 as a number, so which is at again the 0, 1 first position. So let me see what I'll get the output. You can see here we are getting the value as a 3 here. So this is how you'll be able to access the elements even if you have the list as another element into the outer list here. So you can see the same example has been given here. So in this spam list variable, you have the two elements. To the outer list, you have the two elements. Both the elements are of the type list again here. So if you take only spam of 0, means the entire first element, that is the at the 0th position, the index value with the 0th position is going to be displayed here, cat and bat. So what if I want to access only the cat is, as I told you, you need to take the two-dimensional indexing here. So that is at the 0th position, this entire list, and again within that 0th position you want the one more value, that is the bat value, means the first position here. So 0 with first you are going to get bat. So similarly one more is taken, 1 means this entire list, among this you have the fourth here. So fourth means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is the last value for which you are getting it the value as a 50. So this is how you'll be able to create the list, and you can add the elements into the list, and you even can access the elements from the list with a specific index value. So do practice creating with the some list variables and add some values of your choice and try to access them with the specific index value, so that you will become familiar with the list creation and the accessing the elements here. So in the previous examples here, all you can see that for the indexing always we have taken the positive numbers. So even here in the Python you can take the negative indexing value also what does it represents is, if you take the negative indexing value, the traversing is done backwards. That is from -1 representing with the last position, -2 second last, -3 third last, and so on. So in this example, you can see span of -1. So -1 means always it represents the last element of the list, that is elephant. So you can see you are getting the elephant here. So -3 in the sense you can check here -1, -2, and -3, for which you will get the bat here. So here is a string that has been taken where you can access here the concatenation with the span of -1 in the sense this element elephant. You can see the elephant is afraid of the third element, that is the bat here. So let's see what is done here in this way. So here if I take a negative indexing value with the x here, x of -1. So you can see the programming language here. You can see x where it consists the three elements. The last element is the programming language, the -1. So if I take it as a -3 here, for which you will get the output as the Python. C means -1, -2, and -3. So this is how you can even access the elements from the last position instead of going from the beginning position. So the next concept is getting sublist with the slices. So slicing is going to be a very important concept in the list, where you'll be able to get the sub elements of a list together. So previously what we have seen that we are able to access the elements, individual elements with a specific index value. Suppose if we wish to access the elements together, the more number of more elements together from a list, for which you require for using the slicing concept here. So in this example, span of 2 is a list with an index 1 integer. Suppose if you say that if you want the sub list to be extracted, for which you require the 2 integers into the index value, you can see a span 1:4. So the syntax of using the slicing concept is, the first thing needs to be the list variable, and into the square bracket you should have the n:m, where n represents the starting index value and m represents till where you want to access the elements into the integer. So in this example you can see here the span is a list variable where it contains cat, bat, rat, and elephant. So in this case you can see we are trying to access the group of elements, or the more than one element from a list variable here. How we are specifying the syntax is n:m. N represents the starting position, and m is not considered, but up to m the elements will be considered. That is from 0th position till 4 it is considered, but not the 4th value here. That means cat will be taken 0, bat will be taken 1, rat will be taken 2, and elephant will also be taken 3, but not the 4th position. Here you don't have the 4th position, so that's why no issues, all the elements are being extracted here. So in the next example you can see here span 1:3, 0, 1. 1 means bat and 2 means rat. Only these two elements are considered, but not the third element. That's what I'm trying to explain you. So the elements will be considered from this position up to third position, but not the third one. Better you can remember here is one value less to the m here. So in the second case you can see here it started extracting to 0 up to where -1 in the last position. That means cat, bat, and rat, but not the last element here. So let us see the same thing with the example here. Let me take very simple elements into the list now. So now what I want is, I want to access the element 1:4. So how many elements are there? So better I'll take it as a 3. So check out how many elements extracted here. So x over starting with the 1th position, that is 0, 1, b. up to third but not the third position. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 being the D here, that means it is not going to take the third value. So one value less to this value, that is C. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 1 is to 3 is 1 to 2. Okay. So there are the other things that you also need to understand here whenever you are going to apply the slicing on the list here. So you need to remember the certain things. For example, here x is a list variable. What happens if I take only the colon as a parameter for the slicing into the square brackets here? So you can see here x of colon. So I'll just type this and will enter. So you can see here, if you do not take the n and the m value here, by default all the elements will be accessed from that list here. So in the same way, if I take the x variable and I'll just miss the n value, instead I'll just take the 3 as a value here. So what you are expecting the answer to be taken here? So suppose if you are not going to take the first parameter for the slicing, by default it is going to consider it from the 0th position here. So if I press enter, you can see here 0th position up to 3 but not the third value. So 0, 1, 2, A, B and C, one value to this list. So similarly, if I'll take in the reverse order here, I'll just take 2 with the colon here. So in this case, if you are not going to take the second parameter to this slicing here, it will start extracting the elements from the second position till the last value by default. You can see 0, 1, 2 is C and the last value is D. So these are the something special character, special slicing that you can apply whenever you want to access the all elements from a list. So one of the method is you can simply take only colon as a slicing into the square brackets, for which by default it will access all the elements from the list. So the another case is where you can miss the n value, that is the first parameter to the slicing, for which by default it will start accessing from the 0th position here. So in the same way, if you are going to miss the last parameter for the slicing, it will start extracting from the specified n value but till the last value by default here. So do remember these cases here. So the now next concept is how you are going to identify the total number of elements from a list. So for which you are going to use the built-in method length, which is written as only len followed by the parenthesis, and into the parenthesis you need to specify the variable, the list variable name, for which you will get the total number of the elements here. So if you are going to use the same length function on the string, it is going to give you the total number of the characters from the string. But if you are going to use the same length function on the list variable, so it is going to count only the total number of the elements into the list. So for example, in this case you can see here 1, 2 and 3. So it is not going to consider the index value. Instead, it will consider the count of the elements to be present in the list here. So let's see the same thing here. So what I'll do, I'll take the length function. The name of the list variable here is x and type enter. So you can see here it will give you the total number of the elements present into that list here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can see here it will give you the total length here. So once you have already created a list, what if you want to change the any value to the specific index value to that list? Of course you can do it into the list, for which the lists are always considered as a mutable here. So do consider here the list data structure is a mutable. Why? Because you can change the already stored value with any specific index value. So that's the reason why the list is always defined as a mutable data structure. Why I'm stressing on the mutable word here is in your VTU examination, you might be asked in the examination like, uh, explain why the list is considered as a mutable. So for which you need to remember these examples here. So you can see here spam is a list variable that has been already created, which consists the elements like cat, bat, rat and elephant. So in the next executable statement, you can see spam of 1, that is 0, 1, bat. So this position, you want to initialize it to this word, that is AARD VARK. That means this needs to be overridden with this element, so which can be done in the list. So for which you can see that this index value element is going to be replaced with this new value. So that's why it says that the list allows you to replace the contents, or you can say the change the contents of the list, for which it is considered as a mutable here. So let's see here also. You can see here A, B, C, D are the elements in the variable X. So I'll just want to change X of 1 is equal to, I'll store it as a 100 here. So let's see what happens. I'll press enter. So you can see you are not getting any error. That means the value at the index value 1 is stored with the 100. But already at the 1 you have the value as a B. That means this is going to be overridden with the 100 here. So let's see X, type the enter. So you can see here A, 100, C and D. That means the B is replaced with the 100. So for which it is considered as a mutable. So do remember that if you are able to change the elements that are already stored in the any data structure, then it is defined as a mutable. If you are not able to change it, then it is said to be as a immutable. So let me show you the one more example. Let us check out whether we are able to change the value stored in a string here. For example, I'll take it as a y is equal to, take it as a Python, right? So if I type y, you are getting Python. So how the characters of this variable can be accessed is with the index value. That means 0 with the y of 0 is p, 0 is p, 1 is y, 2 is t, 3 is h, 4 is o, 5 is n. So let me check, y of 5 is n here. What I want now is just tell me what kind of variable this is y is considered as. This y is considered as a string variable. Why? Because you have stored a string value into the y, so y is considered as a string variable. So at the fifth position of this y you have the character n. So what I want to do here now is I just want to change this y of 5 is equal to, I just want to change it to the j. So let me see whether it allows or not. So you can see here you are getting an error over here, for which if you are trying to change any particular character into the string, it is not allowing you to change. Instead you will get the error as string object does not support item assignment. So that means the string variable is the immutable form, whereas if you do the same thing with a list variable, it is you can do it successfully, for which you can consider the list variable as a mutable here. I hope you understood the difference between the mutable and the immutable. So now let's see one more example, that is the concatenation and the replication. The same thing we also have studied with the string also, right? Isn't it? So if you are going to use a plus operator on the two list variables, then the elements of that list will be concatenated or combined to a single list. So in this example you can see here 1 2 3 being the first list, whereas the operator is used is plus and followed by the second list consisting the elements as a b c. So for this, if you perform the addition or if you use the plus operator between the two list variables, then the result will be the concatenation of the elements into a single list here. So you can see 1 2 3 a b c. So in the same way, what happens if you are going to use the star operator here? So you can see in this example, the first operand is the list variable consisting the elements as x, y and z, followed by the star operator 3. That means this list elements needs to be multiplied by the number of times the what value you are going to take here. In this example, it has to be repeated for the 3 times. So you can see here as a result x, y, z, and the x, y, z here. So it means it replicated or else it has been repeated for the 3 times. What you need to remember here is, suppose if you are going to use the plus operator between the two list variables, sorry, the two lists consisting of the elements, then it is going to combine or else concatenate the elements from the both the list into the single list here. So in the same way, if you are going to use the star operator between a list and a number, then it is going to repeat the elements of that list into the number that you have taken. For the number of times it is going to be multiplied there. So I'll leave this to experiment by yourself. It's a very simple way where you can try it using with some any random example. So now we'll see the one of the method. I'm not saying that this is the only method here. We'll now discuss one of the method where you can remove the elements from the list. So we have seen with the mutability we can change the or we can replace the existing element from the list. But what if we wish to delete any element from the list, for which we are going to use a method name known as a del here. So you can see here spam is equal to, these are the elements that has been stored in a spam list variable here. So followed to that we have used the delete method, that is del spam of 2, that is 0, 1 and 2. So that means this element is going to be deleted. So once you execute this, it is not going to return anything. So instead, if you want to check whether that element has been deleted or not, you can simply take the name of that variable and check out whether that particular element has been deleted or not. So let me check here. Oh, I've closed it. So let me create one more time. 1, 2, 5. Fine. So we have created a list X consisting the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now I'll just use the delete method X followed by the I just want to delete this value stored at the index value 2. See, do remember here the delete, the syntax of using this method is the keyword is del followed by the list variable name and followed by the index value of the element which you want to delete from that list. So here if I have taken it as x of 2 means the index value with the position 2 element will be deleted. For example 0, 1, 2. So this 3 has to be deleted from the list here. So let us see whether it happens or not. So type x. You can see here from that list the 3 has been deleted, the element 3 has been deleted. So that means here you need to specify the index value. So do not get confused here. Here you should not specify the element which you want to delete. Instead it should be the index value for the element which you want to delete here. So further concepts will continue in the next video.